Today we want to talk about a very sensitive topic.
Yes.
A very sensitive, kind of a taboo. We always, the way you say it, we always push it or we hide it under the rugs, especially as a community. It's a pandemic.
And remember what I told you? Anytime we want to mention the untold stories, we have to remind ourselves, siko ubaya.
Siko ubaya.
Siko ubaya.
Why do we do that?
Because we are guilty.
We are guilty, or we want to feature,
yes.
we want to hide the truth. It's the way someone can tell you, out with all due respect. Don't expect any respect from that.
With all due respect.
With all due
or
respect.
no offense.
No offense.
Or no offense. You're like,
hakuna
none taken. Offense taken.
Yeah.
Now that's the thing.
So, today we're talking about drugs, drug abuse,
yes,
to be precise.
Yes. In general,
yes, the drugs that are pandemic in our community. Maimuna, are you aware nowadays when a lady or when actually you want to introduce someone, you want to marry, you're getting that vibes ya shukansi, you want to find out mtu anakulanga miraa. And it doesn't by the choose a gender. Mtu anakunywa pombe, that how hapo ndo tumefika. It is becoming part and parcel of the due diligence, or should I say background investigation,
the requirements.
Because I'm telling you, it's no longer a pandemic in waiting. It's actually happening.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Should we be specific? Just drugs in general?
Drugs in general. We want to speak about general drugs in general and how it's affecting our community. Kenya, and then back now to our community. Yeah.
Drugs are, I think, can we just call them drug abuse is pandemic?
Exactly.
And it's one of the no-go zone, the no-go subjects. We cannot even have conversations about it. It has become a norm. That's quite unfortunate.
Yes.
And it's sad.
It's a pandemic in waiting. Actually, it's not pandemic in waiting. It's something that's happening already as a community, in our community, in Kenya as general. What I can say is that personally, I've witnessed what drug has done to families. And it starts small. You see? There's that thing that happens here and there. Someone goes to the club or someone goes to the... Before you even open your eyes and see, the person is addicted. The person have lost their families. They have lost their livelihood. And then, one thing I hate about drug abuse, it doesn't only affect the user. It affects the family. The stigma around it. The loss of parenthood. And by the Maimuna, to just bridge a little bit, Mimi, I was raised by... I used to see, actually, I wasn't able to see my dad take it because by the time I was growing up and all that, sikuwa at a level ya kuona, but wazee wetu walikuwa nakula miraa. That time. In such a way that Mimi, I can only say my mom used to sell miraa. She raised me as a single mother selling miraa.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something that I don't have. I am not proud of it, but she didn't have a choice.
Okay.
But
as many moms did.
As many moms.
Yeah.
But Alhamdulillah, that's what I can say. Alhamdulillah. So I could see the effects it had on people and all that. But now a situation where, and I don't know whether those parents, were they responsible? Because as much as my dad used to take, even though sikumfikia, I never missed his...
I don't think then the impact was as crazy as it is now. And one thing I would like to add is the fact that hakukuwa na vitu mingi.
They were not adding a lot of things.
There's one I've had called Tap Tap then, right?
Yeah.
Not then, I'm just as recent.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're even worse ones right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it has just become pandemic. Because I remember even from relatives, parents, people used to come home, take them. But was the effect as bad as it is now?
Actually, that's why I want to question myself. Because nowadays, the effect is so bad that kijana anaandikwa job 2 weeks he no longer has his job, he has overslept or hasn't come to work, mtu anatafutwa, I don't know what is not happening. Our parents different, or they were...
No, I think it has reached a point where Miraa only is not giving them whatever they are looking for. So they have to look for something that gives them that extra euphoria, that happiness, that that vibe that they're looking for. And wanaitanga aje, the handers they are looking for. Because I remember our time, it wasn't as crazy. Wazee will come, eat, they wanasemanga kutema, they brush their teeth and go. And I know even there's a group of people, even right now, the older generation, wanaitumia only on Fridays and Saturdays. Mtu ana rest on Sunday, Monday wako kazini.
They are not
the older generation.
The older
generation. I'm saying some of the
Yeah.
people I know, right? But there is this younger generation
Yes.
that, unfortunately, I don't know why, they have to take it. And now, things are easier. There are B&Bs. There is this Karumism, Akeja,
exactly.
and then there's
There are even
group of-
clubs that accept
Yeah.
Miraa and all that.
Yes, exactly. So unfortunately, I think they have to add this thing inside. And now, remember, they are young. They have to work hard. They have to provide for their families. They have to represent a whole community. So what happens? CO2 inaenda tu down the drain.
Exactly.
Yes,
And the
unfortunately.
economy ndio hiyo.
Yeah, and kumbuka, Miraa is nothing. But it's like tumejifunga macho in a way. We don't want to accept the truth.
Yeah.
Our youngsters, our people, our watu wenye wanatumia are not using Miraa only.
And
They're
even
adding stuff, Sham. You
By
cannot
the
tell
way-
me unatumia hiyo kitu the whole night uko so active. Alafu the next 2 days unalala.
And what is the issue with the now? One thing that I want to bring to your attention is the leaders from Coast spoke about Miraa.
Oh, that
But
incident.
our people from Garissa, Northeastern, no one even mentioned
You
it.
remember there was even a
So,
backlash.
yeah.
Oh, it's a form of
Trade and all that.
Trade and economy.
But our people did not.
on
No
our
one
haribi-
spoke out.
You know why? Because
Except Duale. There was a time he spoke about Miraa.
No, I'm saying that incident.
That incident. But this one, no
Where
one.
all vehicles from this side,
Yeah.
Meru na wapi, walisema hakuna kwenda coast,
Exactly.
kuingia coast.
Did you
Yeah.
support it? What was your nini on
My
that?
view is, as much as it's a source of income
For
for
some
a certain
people,
community
Yeah.
or a certain town or county, whatever, but at the expense of what? My point is, at the expense
It has
of
to
what?
be controlled.
Yes, at the expense of destroying another community,
Yeah,
at the
but
expense of destroying another county. No, that is very wrong.
Yeah.
There are people who are trying to say, oh, there is something against Muslims, there is something against us, they want to put us down. No. For them, it's a source or is a form of income.
Yeah.
Yeah, tusiweke dini na kila kitu in everything, you see. But that is what I heard from
Yeah.
colleagues at work. People discuss these
And
things.
na hii issue
Yeah.
we kind of our people kind of support Khat, and then we malign or we speak bad about drug is a drug, for heaven's
Yeah,
sake.
drug is a drug.
Yeah, we
Drug
should
is
not
a
say
drug.
this is
Yeah, as much as it is a form of income for
Yeah.
a community,
Yeah.
but at the same time, at the expense of what? Destroying another.
exactly later.
You see, just look at it like that. Oh, sijui, they don't want us, wanatupiga Waislam, hapana. I don't agree with putting dini in everything, by the way, Sham. I don't.
Yeah.
Just look at something from the logic point. And again, who is forcing you to buy this Miraa?
No one.
No one. Take care of your kids, teach them the right thing.
Yeah.
As a parents, you have individual responsibilities
Yeah.
towards your kids. Wachana na Miraa, mtu amefika 30 utamkata aje Miraa? See, they look for that Miraa regardless.
Exactly.
Ama?
Yeah. No, it's a livelihood. As I said, my mom used to sell it, and I was brought up by that
But did she
Miraa.
allow you guys to have it?
No.
You see, that's what
You
I'm
can't
saying.
even imagine.
I know the face. From what you told me, from your mom, Allah yarahma,
Actually, you could not even. She could not even
see you around.
see us around that. But now, as I say, she didn't have a choice.
As
Just
most
like any
moms,
other
as
person
most moms,
at the
Sham.
moment who is selling that. But I think it should be regulated in such a manner that, the way we have done with alcohol, it has to be sold to under 18, above
Hata pale
18,
chini inaandikwa,
and all
mbona?
that. Exactly. The advert, when it comes, it's being told it's harmful to your health and all that. And it's haram. Islamically, it's haram. Yes. We should not sugarcoat it and say, Kamra, Khat, they are all haram.
Yes.
We should be nini of that. We should be worried. But and they have to be regulated by the government.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we as a society must accept the pandemic
That is there.
that is there, the kind of livelihoods that are being lost. Do you know how expensive it is to take someone for rehabilitation?
And Sham, before you even go to the rehabilitation, which is maybe the last resort, do you know how Miraa is expensive?
By the way.
I don't know how much they sell it right now, but from like years back, kilo ilikuwa ngapi? 1,500.
Actually, ilikuwa around 2,000.
So I'm sure right now
Something
it's a little
like
bit
that.
more. And
Nowadays,
remember,
they have classified.
we
Kuna
could-
as low as, I think, do you know 100? Is it?
But
Yeah.
that is the
200.
the one with the leaves,
Yeah.
right? But you see now, again, remember, wakikula, ama ni kuchiu, you have to look for others.
Yeah.
Si Miraa peke yake. There's the Miraa. You have
The
to
accompaniments.
accompaniments. Labda mko watatu, wanne, watano. So tell me, taking that thing every day or every other day, unachoma like 5,000, 6,000, depending on the group of people.
You even forget
Okay,
your
the mukokadi you are
responsibility.
saying is cheap, but Sham, do you want to tell me you have money? Do you have money every day?
buy
Literally,
that
even you
thing?
right now. No,
No,
even
you
right now, I'm
can't.
saying on a daily basis. Do you want to tell me you have money 24/7?
No, you can't.
Kuna
You
mara
don't.
iko, kuna mara haiko. That's life, right? But still, imagine, they go to an extent wanakopa.
Yani unakopa ndio kule.
You get calls in the middle of the night ya saa sita, saa saba, please sis nisaidie, please sis nifanyie.
Nisaidie mia.
Please nifanyie, nisaidie, I want to do this, I want to do that. I've had friends complain. I've had
Yeah, by the actually I know.
we had these discussions out there, Sham.
Yeah.
People complain. Unaona tu text ati mtoto mgonjwa.
Na si mtoto mgonjwa.
Hakuna mtoto mgonjwa. Very rare cases, unless you know, I know you have a sick child normally.
Yeah.
But even people complain, aki, you know, and we've known them. Like you see, tunawajua. Saa sita, saa saba usiku, please nifanyie, please.
But ni starehe gani unakula na?
Hakuna starehe, Sham, imefika mahali they are addicts. Now there is nothing
Is that
they
an
can
addiction?
do.
No, is it an addiction?
Mali unaomba pesa kununua
Is that
Miraa.
an
It's an
addiction?
addiction, Sham.
That's an addiction.
It becomes sick. Yes, you cannot do without it. Mwili inataka. Just like any other drug.
Even by
you
the
get
way.
withdrawals, you have to. That is why they ask for these small shillings.
By the way.
Yeah. So tell me, mtu kama huyo, you have to provide for your children. You have to provide for your wife. You have, like, will you ever think of taking them to the best school?
No.
No. Like, dina ankale ya maisha mara.
Inaenda
The
nini?
lifestyle inaenda.
Exactly. And I think it's one of the things that is really causing divorce rates, especially in our community. Because now you married this person trying to hide. I've seen someone who actually they lied that they don't take Miraa.
Okay.
You are in 2 years down in the marriage and ukweli inajitokeza.
Okay.
Responsibilities zinaanza kukulemea. And remember hapo ulikuwa umeficha that you don't do Miraa, you don't do drugs. What happens? So it's one of the reasons, actually, it's one of the effects.
Ama, I know you to take it. And because I have been raised in a way that it has been normal,
Yeah.
I take it to be
Exactly. Okay.
But as time goes by, what happens?
Yeah.
What happens, Sham?
Imagine you
It starts eating up financially.
Exactly.
You don't.
You're not there for your kids
You're
when
not
you're
a
supposed
father.
to be.
Your kids, to your kids, a good husband to your wife. Why? Because all you think about is
That, especially over the weekend, you just want to go hang out with the friends. I'm not supporting it, but I know quite few people. I don't know, shall I say doing Khat responsibly? Am I allowed to say that?
I was thinking of the same, Sham. I know people who are, they use it. Remember what I told you? Friday, Saturday. You see this person on Monday at a CAA.
Ana Sunday tu unampata Karura Forest akitembea na watoto wake. CAA.
That's why we want to like separate.
Like, they are using it, but does it come with the responsibility or it comes... I will want to understand.
I think it comes from being self-aware, Sham. The way I was telling you, like,
but we need to know it's haram.
No, it's haram. We are not justifying anything.
We are not justifying, exactly.
What do I tell you every time, Sham? There's two groups in everything in our community.
Exactly.
Sindio? There are those like imeharibika na kuna sisi ambao tunajaribu, you know, as far as education is concerned, health, our kids and everything. And then there is this other group that don't give a
They don't care.
They don't care, right?
They don't care,
Sasa wao wenye unasema ni wale responsibly chewing.
I think they should be doing talks in these places, like I don't want to mention a certain place, waende waambie watu wake up, kwa sababu
don't you think unemployment also changas? Maybe these
poverty.
Other responsible people have to work Monday to Friday.
Exactly.
They have to provide for their families and all of that. So mwenye hana an idle mind,
by the way, and you have something like exactly, you can just go grab it and all that.
Alafu mkogani 100, 200, 300.
It's not even the drugs are not even that expensive, so people are actually, they are able to afford. And the other thing is the fact that you see the way the Central Kenya is fighting against alcoholism. I don't know, as we are not doing that.
We are in denial, Sham.
We are in denial.
You see, for you to say something is a problem or is a pandemic or it's an obstacle, like it prevent inaharibu watoto wetu. So you have to say it out loud.
I think it's the stigma.
Are we saying it out loud?
No, we have
normalized it.
Or we have normalized.
We have normalized it. Like it is okay.
It's okay. Until now it hits you hard. And then you start becoming an enabler.
You become useless.
Now as a family. Munakata, you know, kuna ile nini inaitwaje tulikuwa tunasemanga ukiwa mtu huyu unaambiwa usitembee na huyu mzazi anakuja anaambiwa niliona mtoto wako, and then mimi mtoto wangu amefanya hivyo kweli, na maybe that's the time you'll have used, and then later because the community had already given you the signs, you refuse, and then later when the reality hits the kid and they become addict, you don't want to be stigmatized. You hide it. You become an enabler in such a manner that ukijana, you know, when by the time it's becoming you're abusing it, it even affects your mental capability.
Of course.
You're now a sick person. Actually, you have a disorder now. So by then, kwa sababu wazazi hawataki, all the relatives, all the people around you hawataki kuwekwa in a confined environment, they start enabling you.
So let's put it like this, Sham. So what do you think, or how do you think it affects an individual, like an individual part, from an individual perspective? Yeah. How does it affect a person before we go to the family and then the larger community?
But you know, it doesn't affect you as an individual. You carry it's like it affects the clan. Let's say wait, this person becomes sick.
Individually?
Yeah, individual. But who are you burdening?
But
in terms of, you are sick physically. You are sick. The disorder is there.
Are you discounting me?
No, I'm taking this person. Let's say Mr. X.
Why you discounting Mr. X now? Why are you discounting me?
No, Mr. X is sick.
For me to affect all the others, it's affecting me. That's what I want.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, are you able to recognize that you're bringing all these problems?
No, of course not.
Are you in a position? Because if you had the idea, the slightest idea, you could have stopped and sought assistance and said, guys.
So what does it do to me individually? I'm still.
Ndio nasema it doesn't affect you individually, sweetheart.
Why will you say that?
I'm saying that because you are not.
Like I come first.
No, you can't come first.
I'm already an addict.
You're Nini, the moment you become an addict, you are becoming a burden. One, if you have a mother, anaanza kwa sababu wewe inakuwa affect the health wise inakuwa affect.
I become mentally distorted.
Ill, exactly.
I like literally maisha inaniendea.
But I don't want you, Maimuna, to see
financially,
individually.
No, but we have to start somewhere, Shani. And for us to start somewhere, it is affecting me. What am I doing? Imagine a family is made of individuals. A community is made of so many individuals. Yes, so imagine a community, let's say, of 500 people, and the 500 individuals are messed up. Who is affecting who? You see?
by the way.
No, we can agree to disagree, sweetheart.
Exactly.
It's fine, no problem.
But me, I'm thinking of a situation where, okay,
start with me.
I start with you, Mr.
What it's
X.
doing to me, Miraa. Okay, Miraa in
Health-wise,
health, right?
Yeah, exactly. Even the physical, mentally, financially.
That is number one.
And then
you become redundant. You become like literally, inafika mahali. You want to get that extreme euphoria, that hunger.
You even start committing crime to sustain that life.
Yeah,
exactly.
Go to your family,
Sasa now. Now it's the psychologist who's speaking.
Yes.
You're starting to now,
so
that now they are able to recognize
because I make
I have a problem. Exactly.
I make the community
And me, I'm starting with the community. The kind of mess you have brought for that community.
You see the fact that I told you you're philanthropic, you think of everybody. Start with yourself first. Go to your family and your whole community now.
Because now I'm thinking, if this person had the slightest idea of the effect it has, not only on himself or herself, but those people who love and care about him.
Yeah.
Because that thing I'm telling you,
Speaking
from from a place where it touches now on my personality and on a personal level, it's painful. Sometimes you don't even how do I say? You know this person is sick, but you support them in
enabling them.
You enable them because one, you are afraid they are violent. Kelele. And then una feel aibu mtu akizungukea mahali so but it inakukula that moment unapeana hiyo 200.
Imagine what
inakukula.
What do you think a parent goes through bayo?
It's so
like,
I'm telling you, it's
never
painful.
Experienced that kwanza sema amin.
Wallahi sema amin. Alhamdulillah. Sema amin.
May we never.
Our
kids are young. And we pray for every parent that has a child coming up in such environment to be just
and you know the bad thing in our as a Somali society, being Muslims, we don't have centers. We have private centers, but they are not as professional as that of the government. Do you know that there is no mental hospital or rehabilitation center in our regions? Are you aware of that?
Really? I'm hoping
there is none, I think.
You know why? We don't even believe in therapy from the first place.
Yeah. So
I don't have anything against Quran, by the way. Like I love Quran. It has worked for me, for everyone I know. But my thing is, can you help people from the human perspective area, from the psychology, from the mental? You can get a Quranic center, a madrasa, a Quran center, a center that is religious based, but at the same time look for psychology,
specialist, let's say.
Psychiatrists. The people that deal with mental, social scientists, social, what are they called? Those behaviorist people, like those who know about human beings. Like help people all round. Even medically. Because it takes time to kind of, like what Madare Hospital, like it takes time before idawa, addiction, itoke kwa mwili. You understand? Yeah.
So sisi hatuna yenye tuko nazo ni private and they are mainly in Nairobi
and a lot of money.
There are many, by the way. I'm telling you, there are so many. It's very expensive. And then it's more of detoxification kind of a thing, because the way they do from a business perspective. Ruhani to sihrinhay, ruhani to, you see, the family are even for, one thing I've learned with the drug abuse. If you want to get assistance, you start accepting that you have a problem. Yeah. Because you'll be forced.
You'll only be helped if you...
Yeah, that, okay, I'm sick. You know the way he says, you're under the weather. You said, I'm not feeling okay, let me take some. Wacha nitumie dawa. You have accepted. Yeah. But for drug abusers, they don't. Yeah. But whoever does that, do you know they kind of heal pole pole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, this is not a mental disease where the person is...
but it's sham, it gets to mental.
It gets.
With whatever
but
extra.
Nasema ni ile mental ya kujitafutia, sorry, with all due respect. Ni ile ya kujitafutia. So that means you are sober enough to say, I'm heading this direction. I was heading to this direction. So they don't come from that. So what does the family does? They force them into those rehabilitation centers, which are so expensive.
Very expensive.
And then, even Madari, it's very expensive for your information. It's very expensive with all these things. And then, upate mtu hana any insurance that covers them. And then that person hasn't accepted. They feel that they're being punished to be taken there. After 3 months, they're out. The cycle again starts.
Yeah, one thing I've learned, Sham, with addiction. Whatever happened. You've enabled them. But with addiction, Sham, before I used to come from a judgmental point of view. But after listening to so many stories and judgmentals and whatever, Aki, Sham, I will not lie to you. It's just like any other addiction.
It's just like any other mental, I think.
And there's a lady I've been listening to. I think she was brought in by Lynn some time back. She's something in Nakada. I don't know, she's part of the board members. That's her story. She was narrating how she used to be an addict, blah blah, alcohol and all of that. And she came one day and literally talked about her journey with alcoholism and how she is where she is right now. And I saw the whole thing from a different perspective.
Yeah, but by the time this CEO for KICC. She was celebrating how many years sobriety?
Sobriety.
And was it 19 years or 20? But the common point, accepting that you have
accepting, and then the other thing she was really rooting for is community help. And she even mentioned that there is money for rehabilitation centers meant for all the counties.
Where does it go
diverted for some, I don't know, to whatever. I don't know if we do have in Nordistan. I've never heard of finances.
Any.
I don't know. Maybe it's there. Okay, people will enlighten us, hopefully, inshallah. But still, we do not know what is happening. We're just talking from a point of experience, right?
Yeah.
But Aki, these people are as sick as just the others. That they need help, they need financial help, community help, and not only to be taken for a few months, but for a year.
It's a journey, by the way.
Year. Because for someone to go to that extent, wanatumia vitu zingine nazo.
By the way.
Wanatumia vitu zingine
and
nazo.
Then,
si miraa peke yake.
Si miraa, si pombe peke yake. It's so much. And then there's that, the way you said, community. The moment you have that person who is using that drug, unamwona like she's the one who amejitakia. But now when they're there with their peers, they're accepted the way they are. And I think it's something that we need to embrace. And by the way, I really appreciate for bringing that point out. We need to appreciate them so that not thinking from their perspective, but in form of supporting them, not enabling them, but supporting them until they come to their senses in such a manner that even though, human beings, changing direction is very hard. Imagine you as a normal human being, saizi nikikwambia Maimuna, you go do nini, hama kutoka this town to that town,
Of course, yeah.
Imagine now you changing your behavior.
It will take some
as a normal person, ndio ngumu. Imagine if you're mentally affected.
It was built over time.
Exactly.
The addiction was built over time.
And that's the only thing they know.
And it will be unbuilt.
It will take
over
to
time.
unlearn.
It will take some time. So basically unlearn. Unbuilt ni kizungu.
It's okay. Ilikuja na meli.
Like to be unlearned, or rather to get over that addiction, it will take some time. So my point is, there is hope to accept.
Exactly.
Sham, there is something I like, maybe we touch on kiasi. What do you think are the root cause of overusing and this thing of
abusing
literally
drugs?
abusing and overusing it and adding these other things, the hardcore and all of that? What do you think?
One thing,
Including Miraa and all of that.
let's say, shall I say poverty? But
Yes. Yeah.
poverty is relative.
Yes.
Because there are so many people who are poor.
We can say unemployment rather. We can
But
say
now-
unemployment.
No, I don't want to think from that perspective of unemployment. The normal procedure yenye tunasemanga unemployment, poverty, sijui nini. Mimi what I can say that maybe we were never taught in school is the availability of those drugs at our disposal.
Availability.
They are so much available.
But Sham, as you said, it has been available for you and your siblings.
Availability and regulation of those
Like
drugs.
access, you think
It's
access.
very accessible,
Accessible.
and they are not regulated. Kwa sababu, I know of someone, you know, you can only, I know of someone, let me start with that, who decided, given that chance, they are not going to engage in such businesses. Sweetheart, me, I've told you, I was brought up in that Mbona sikuenda kufungua a shop in Miraa. Actually, I even had a fight with some people, but I was like, no, my mom didn't have a choice, and she educated me not to go through that route. I don't have anything
and
against.
And your mom didn't use it, did she?
No, she didn't.
See,
but now I'm saying it was an easy approach for me. Wakati nilikuwa nang'ang'ana naingia mauwanja kupigana na nini, it will have been because it will have been an easy route inheriting that biashara.
But easier.
Yeah, it will have, but I made that choice because hakulala saa 7 usiku niende nifanye hiyo kazi. It's a choice I made, and I'm so proud of that, by the way. Because I remember there was
I know so many people, trust me, that were raised by parents.
But they did not. Are they in that?
No, they've turned out.
But at the same time, there are some people who will inherit your biashara. So did that person made that choice? It depends with them. But me personally, I didn't, and I'm not intending to do that because she gave me that choice. She gave me that platform. She suffered for me not to go to that same route.
All of that, yes.
All of that. So but now, that thing is available, sweetheart. It was available for me to do that and go to that route.
Fine. Sham, to be honest, it's been available for all of us.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying, sitasema unemployment, sitasema poverty, it's accessibility to those drugs.
But Sham, I kind of not disagree.
It's okay.
But
add on that.
Add on it. Or rather, I strongly believe the unemployment rate, which has brought by the lack of education and whatever, not lack, hata kama ilikuwa not as good, or maybe the parents not supporting this child, whatever circumstance we are in, we always go back to education.
Exactly.
That's what I believe.
You said you'll never go wrong with education.
So make sure to you educate your children. We are taught about drug abuse. Literally every drug. Ni class gani? GHC that time.
Was it? I don't know. GHC. But they are actually up to
SST now, right? One, I don't know which subject, but still we were taught all kind of drugs, from heroin, the hardcore ones,
exactly.
cocaine, and all of that, Miraa and bangi and all of that. But now we have to educate our kids regardless. Because where do the I'm so passionate about it. Where do the responsible ones? Like, why do they take responsibly? One, because they're educated, or they have businesses, they have so much
a lot to lose,
right? Yeah. They have so much to lose that they cannot just play around with it. But I would say unemployment sham so much that if a group of 10 people are employed...
Na how about banki kikubaliwa?
But you see now, just to nisipoteze my thought process,
yes.
Unemployment.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say an example of 10 group of 10 people together, and they are all unemployed, and maybe 2, 3, 4 is using. There's the aspect of peer pressure that comes in.
Actually, peer pressure is whether you are employed or not,
whether you are educated or
whether
not.
educated or not. let me cut you short.
I have people who are very paranoid.
By the way,
They are running away with their kids from one point to another.
Have you seen?
Because of being paranoid, because of the environment.
The environment.
I've seen people move from one estate
a whole
to
country
another
even.
Because of that.
Let me tell you, do you know the peer pressure? I was somewhere, I don't want to mention the name. It's a whole institution, a whole institution where you come in, you don't take, you know, Somali tunasemanga Khat, Miraa, it's normalized. They don't see it, people abusing, they don't see the effect. You come in as someone who doesn't take the kind of jokes, the memes they do against you, the prank and all that, just because you know,
Just
in 2-3 months,
check.
you start taking it because you want to fit in.
Yes.
In that, and these people are grown up
in that environment.
And by the way, if there's one thing I hate, I hate mtu mchana hafichi.
Let me tell you,
at least hide.
There is something.
I'm sorry to say, but at least
it's like it gives a very ugly look. Mtu amejaza hivi.
Thanks God.
Like you see someone amejaa.
Me, I love. I don't know. I respect or I show. You know those people who hide it. I tend of. I don't know. I don't support it wholly, but I see that they know what they are doing is bad, so they kind of.
There is possible chewers. I like how you call them.
Especially, you'll even find someone. Adi unashuku. But there are others. Do you know what? Our parents. There's something that I always see. Our parents were not hiding it. We were a generation who were brought up by parents who were eating miraa. But now our generation did not do it.
But parents awake the whole night.
No, ndo nasema, they did not. Actually, ndo nasema, just listen, our parents were doing it. So sisi hatujafanya hivyo. Or if we are doing, we are hiding it. And my generation, they are hiding it.
Ours, millennials.
Yes. It's very few.
I was discussing this with my nieces. Very true. It skipped us because I think it was kind of a taboo. Stay away from it and whatever and all that. And then there's this younger.
Hata kama ulikuwa unatumia unafika mahali and you're like no, I'm done with this.
Na kama wanatumia wanaficha.
People will even unasikianga tu.
You remember where we worked sometime back?
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning hata si
yeye.
Someone is so hiyo shati imepigwa pasi. That cut trouser hata that can line.
Wewe unaambiwa you want to marry this guy unauliza kana unaambia no. Nani ashaimuona? Nani ashaimuona? But now the Gen Z, they are not hiding it.
But they don't care.
They don't care.
Ulisikia watu ni mimba tu wanaogopa.
Anyway,
they're only scared of
one thing, we want to close this thing, the drug issue. One, the challenges that we have. One, we don't have, as much as we are Muslims, yes, there are private rehabilitation centers that do not have the capability as it should be, but as an institution and people who have leaders, our imams and our religion people should come out clearly.
Do you know, Sham, Islamic teachings discourage drug use and promote a clean lifestyle? Do you know that? Like everything that affects your mental capacity, your reasoning, and all of that is that is why pombe, na hizo vitu zote, we are not allowed to use that. Miraa included.
But
yes, anything that makes you lazy, anything that makes you don't work hard for your for your income and livelihood and all of that, anything that makes you ati unaomba watu, that literally affects your reasoning. Because eventually it will and it does. It's haram. Do you know that?
But me, my support or my what I want to encourage is our imams and our sheikhs.
Like let them scream out.
Scream out.
That this
without stigmatizing those people who need their assistance. Because my mom, I always tell you, we have so many mosques as Muslims. Yeah, I know there are some towns that do not have mosques. But why will we concentrate all our efforts in building a mosque in 2-3 zimeshikana,
Shab, unataka
yet we can have a no.
Come, let's say out loud, it's fine.
Yeah.
Unataka kukujiwa.
Si kukujiwa, let us be realistic. Wallahi.
Okay. No, let's say this, Shab.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
But one thing I love with our community is we have embraced the religion perspective. But where there is where there is a mosque, Sham, see, we make sure there is madrasa.
Yeah.
Let's put this other.
Like we put schools.
To make a side.
We at least we
the empowerment, the rehabilitation center, especially the drug use,
Catholics,
drug abuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Let's put it next to the mosque.
Because you'll find someone like my mother traveling all the way from Elwak to come and be treated at Kijabe, yet it's a Catholic hospital or it's a Christian hospital. Yet in the same Elwak, there is a very good 5-star mosque.
So let's encourage.
And actually let's start with ourselves kwanza.
Yes.
Mimi saizi Maimuna sitakuja kukuambia tuchangie msikiti, but I'll go find out. Kama kuna mahali tunajenga shule nitakuita.
But you see, Sham, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But you see, when it comes to mosque,
I don't have any problem with it. I don't have any. By the way, I totally support
I agree
where there is no mosque, we build.
Because
But tuangalie pia.
Let's say this, Sham, let me say it from this perspective.
Exactly.
See, we said we agree to disagree. It's fine, right?
Yes.
Let the mosque be built.
Yes, I agree with that.
Because it's where we worship Allah.
Yes.
And this dunya, sisi tunapita.
Like yes.
Worshipping Allah is our core business as Muslims.
Exactly, yeah.
But as much as tukiweka mosque, and have you noticed mosque and madrasas go kind of together right now?
Yeah.
But let's put these rehabilitation centers
kind
next.
of a hospital or a family center.
Because it's a form of sadaqah.
Exactly.
Helping these addicted individuals that do not have the money, that their life has already been messed up and are ready and are willing to be helped. Let's do that.
It's even more sadaqah.
Yes.
So that mtu anatibiwa
and
by
fixing
the same
someone's life.
One thing I've learned, you can listen to Quran in the while you are in their situation and it soothes you.
It does, yes.
It has that soothing effect on you. You know, Mimi, whenever I'm stressed na nini, mi wale utanipata these du'as.
The du'as, yeah.
The du'as that anaitwa Omar al-Hishrabi or yani the reading and all that, it soothes you. Imagine
I know him.
Duksi,
his voice,
madrasa, the nini, and then there are sheikhs who are so good in preaching the word of Allah. And they do it freely without expecting anything in return. And I'm sure if they're given that chance, they will propel those rehabilitation centers in that mosque.
Sham, it goes back to the fact that we don't see the drug abuse as a problem.
Now that's the
Trust
problem.
me. You see, the need for mosque comes from the need of worshipping.
Yeah, exactly.
The need of madrasa comes from the need of the Quran and teaching our kids akhlaq, tarbiyah and all of that, right? But for them even to build for our people, or rather even in general, other communities, a whole community to build a whole rehabilitation center comes from the need
of realizing that there's a problem here.
There is a big problem, and I wish, because it's also a form of sadaqah wallahi. Like literally someone or a leader coming and building or making sure or starting even an initiative of building a rehabilitation center for our children. That even is on another level. Aki, I wish people could realize. So I hope
our
whoever is
viewers
listening
and our
this,
nini will
those who build mosques,
because
kuna individuals wanajitoleanga this real estate sham wale wanajenga individuals wanajenga msikiti especially back in northern Kenya in Marsabit, Isiolo,
they're individuals by them.
Especially where Khat.
Hizi
side zingine maybe ni pombe hawana shida Miraa sana but in northern Kenya, like the whole Kushaiti community, the biggest problem we have is the Miraa. Now sasa the other drugs are coming in.
They are coming in.
Mombasa coast also the same.
But coast, at least they recognize their problem and they're really trying.
They're really trying and all of that, But as I hope we find out, and there is hata kama kuna msamaria mwema somewhere. I hope I had even that initiative. But one day I hope someone hata msamaria mwema tu atajitokeza na jenge our people those affected by Miraa and these other kind of drugs.
And if the money are there on the devolution, why can't we?
Wajitole. Because what is the need of a whole generation being wiped out? Wanakuwa tu mazuzu, you know.
And we're speaking out of experience. We have those people in our families. We can see the effect it has on us. Not only them.
It affects even us.
It affects us. It's a whole. It is affecting a whole family.
No one wants their family members to be in such a
such a situation.
It's sickening bana. You know, it puts a whole family down. Maybe huyu mtu akona watoto, you know. And there's something, Sham, I want to mention also. One thing that has led, we kind of skipped this part. One thing that has led is we kind of cut our boys a slut. Growing up, I remember, like Mimi, my parents, like I think almost in every family. Msichana lazima akue kwa nyumba, msichana anachungwa, msichana
by the way,
as long as the boy is with other boys, hakuna mtu anashughulika. I think that has also led to this peer pressure, not caring so much,
affecting the boy child and the girl.
And then remember who were using it then? Our fathers, our older brothers. You know, such. So it's quite unfortunate that
it's happening.
These roles, these gender roles also appear imechangia.
It has played a role by
But you know what it goes back to? Please educate your children.
Exactly.
So that they know what is good, what is not good for them, what drugs, what not drugs. The other one that I would like to mention quickly, because now na time imesonga, is the abuse of the sleeping pills. Yes. The sleeping pills.
By the
painkillers.
Exactly.
Those two. Because the sleeping pills.
Painkillers.
The sleeping pills is watu wanaitumia vibaya sana. You remember what a friend, a doctor told us?
By the way,
there's this anxiety pills, there's this, you know, there's so many pills in town right now. It's a discussion for another day.
It's a discussion. And actually, we will discuss how the diaspora community are bringing their kids back, at least because they are running away with them.
You want to get into the Dakan Ellis?
No, not now, but we'll discuss it later.
Discuss, but also we'll bring an expert. So I hope our viewers will get back to us. Today was just purely from experience, from what we know.
And accepting that we have a problem.
Very true.
Okay. Cheers. Bye.
Adios.
Adios.
Bye.